Hey everybody, my name is Blake. I work here at High Alpine Rentals. Today we're going to be going over the 2022 Winnebago Vista 31 Bravo. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're renting with High Alpine Rentals coming up in the future. This video is going to be super quick. We're going to go over how to use this Class A motor coach. It's going to be kind of quick, so just make sure you kind of watch it a few times so when you show up, you're only here for like 30 minutes versus like 2 hours, because there's a lot to learn. All right, so we're going to start off with the outside of the camper. This is what they call a Class A. It's just one large bus style RV. On the front here, you have a marker light. In the middle of the coach, you have another marker light. That tells you where the middle's at. And then on the very end of the coach, there's another one, a red one, which tells you where the back of the RV's at. We do a quick little driver's test when you're here to kind of get you familiar with the rig. You can see the RV does have a lot of compartments on it. You have 3 storage compartments on this side. The 2 in the front here actually go all the way through to the other side of the RV. You'll notice that there's lights in each compartment. Those lights, to get those to work, they're just a click button. Just turn it off just like that. Pretty sweet. Okay, these doors just close just like this. That to open them. You can lock these as well by using the gray key on your keychain. You do have an outdoor TV. This outdoor TV is pretty cool. It's going to run off local TV and channels. To find your local channels, just like in your house, just hit the menu button, scroll down to channel, and then from there you're just going to do a local search for channels in the RV's antenna's going to pick it up. On the side here, you're going to notice a button that says radio or TV. It's on radio right now, but the second I flip it to TV, it's going to play the news, which is, hopefully you're not watching the news if you're camping. Hopefully you're not watching TV if you're camping, but if you are, you can watch it outside. It's pretty cool. When you're traveling, this is just going to close up. You'll use your key and lock it up. The door here, you notice has this little bar, so that's going to keep the door open when you're RVing. Well, like camped out at your campsite. It does have a screen on it. Screen just closes just like that. Pretty sweet. Now, when you start to travel, you're just going to pull that little rod up and out of its spot. You're going to place it right here behind the door. Now you'll notice that when I close this, the steps stay out. If you want the steps to stay out, or if you want them to automatically retract, on the inside of the wall here, you're going to see a control panel, and you're going to see it says step on and off. If I put it on step on and I close that door, you're going to notice that every single time it goes in and then out. So when you're at your campsite, remember to flip that switch to the off position. The biggest thing that you have to know about these steps, you need to wait till they're fully extended out before you step on them. If you step on them when they're partially going out, you're going to break them, and that's a very expensive bill. So make sure they're fully extended out before you step on them. While we're here, we're going to go over this panel a little bit more. You're going to notice you see compartment lights on and off. That's the master switch for those compartment lights. So if you're flipping that switch in the compartment, it's not turning on or off, come and check this. It's probably in the opposition if the lights aren't turning on in the compartment. This is a major important switch right here. It's your coach battery switch. The RV has its 2 batteries underneath the step here. Then the RV driving portion has its own battery. If you were to flip that button to off, nothing in the RV is going to work. Nothing at all. When it's in the on position, that green light will be on. We went over the step on and off button already. The next thing is going to be awning in and out. We're going to go over that at the very end of the video. Next thing is your awning light. You'll notice on the end of the awning, there is an LED strip. If I flip it to off, it's going to go off. So it's on, it turns on. All right, so now we're going to go over the rest of the coach here. You have another compartment here for storage. It goes pretty deep back there. You have some road safety triangles. In the case, should you break down, you'll have those for your safety. Going back here, you have another compartment for storage, which is pretty sweet. And then when you're driving, close it on up. And then right here, you have a light switch. 2 different levels. You have bright, off, and kind of bright. Another one underneath here. That's just gonna be your one. You do have a paper towel holder here as well. And then we'll go over the sink in a little bit as well. You do have a lot of compartment space. Pretty neat. You do have a refrigerator in the outside kitchen. This fridge only works off of what we call 50 amp or shore power. In the RV, you have 2 different types of power. You have the generator on board, and this RV is cool because it has solar, so it's gonna keep the batteries maintained. But the generator will give you the same 50 amp shore power that your campsite's gonna give you. This fridge only works off of shore power or generator. It doesn't run off battery, it doesn't run off propane, unlike the one inside the coach. You have another storage compartment here, put some more spices, has a cool little door there. This shelf here has another compartment here. You don't want to place heavy items in this compartment. Just spices, some plastic cups, that kind of deal. No cases of water, no cases of beer, none of that. It'll actually break it. The bottom of it's pretty flimsy. Outside here, you do have a cigarette charging port, so you can charge your phone at your campsite, and also a 110 plug. Once again, you have to have shore power to run the outlets at the campsite. Okay, coming around to the back side, you're gonna notice that you have an external propane hookup here. If you want to bring your own grill, you can hook into this propane tab and tap the RV's propane tank. This is the back of your furnace. Feels pretty good. It's pretty cold right now in Colorado, so that's where your furnace is blowing out. There is a 2-inch receiver for a bike rack. If you plan to tow a vehicle, you must let us know in advance. It can't be the day of. That's only for bike racks unless you get prior approval from us. There is a ladder for no reason at all. Will you be going up on top of the roof? That is a complete no-go. Don't go on top of the roof. The roofs are very flimsy. They're not meant to be walked on a lot. You do have a backup camera, which is pretty nice. When you're at your campsite, I recommend, it's what my wife and I do, call each other on speakerphone, have your wife or whoever, significant other behind the coach, talking to you on speakerphone, helping you back up the RV into the spot, or just, maneuvering around a campsite. Just always have on speakerphone, kind of works as like a walkie-talkie, prevents a lot of issues. This here is your generator exhaust. Come around here, you're gonna see, this is your slide out. It slides out only that far. It's the whole length of the RV. Now you'll notice that this side of the RV has a lot going on, a lot of cables and all that. We're gonna go over that right now. Okay, so this is your generator. You shouldn't have to do anything with this generator. If it gets to that, we'll talk on the phone. I'll teach you how to reset it. Super easy. Here you have what's called your 50 amp shore power. You'll notice that it is permanently attached to the box. I flipped that switch off. See, the light's not working. It's permanently attached to this box. And then you feed it through this hole right here. And then when you're not at your campsite, you just feed it right back up. It stores inside. Use the cap to cap it off, and you're good for travel. So with this, we'll come over to the electrical post. When you get to your campsite, you're gonna see 2 different outlets. Kind of use both hands, pull it out. 50 amp has 4 prong inlets. This is what a 50 amp looks like as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. A 30 amp has 3 prongs. You'll notice that the breakers are in the off position. Take your 50 amp, plug it in, and then flip it to on. When you go to unplug it, flip it to off and pull it out. During your trip, you'll most likely have a surge protector that goes with you. and you'll just plug that in separately. If you don't have any power to your coach, make sure you flipped it to the on position. All right, so the next thing, I mean, you see it's already set up for you. This is your unleaded gas. When you're pulling into your gas station, make sure that you know that it's right behind your tire, the driver's side. When you're pulling out of the gas station, never turn right. If you turn right, the back of your RV, from the back axle to the back of the RV, is going to swing and it's going to hit that gas pump. Always punch out and go left. Always make sure you know how you're going to get into the gas station, how you're going to get out of the gas station. This compartment here, it's just going to be more storage. Here you have some more leveling blocks. Should you need to drive up on those, they just stack like Legos underneath the tires. Okay, so the next category we're going to go over is going to be your sewer, your water, your hot water heater. So when you get to your campsite, you're going to notice that you have a water spigot, a sewer inlet, and electrical post. My biggest tip before you push the slide out and get camp ready, pull into your campsite and make sure that your sewer hose, your water hose, and your electrical hose are going to link up to all those inlets. Sometimes they space them out awkwardly. Just make sure you have enough length to actually hit them. Inside the RV, there's a panel on the wall that I'm going to teach you shortly that shows you how to keep an eye on the levels of like water, sewer, and wastewater. In the RV here, you're going to see you have what's called gray waste, black waste. On the panel inside the coach, it's going to say BLK, TK, black tank, and then GRK, TK for gray waste. Gray waste is your sink water and your shower water. Black waste is your sewer. When you're at your campsite, you're going to want to dump your black waste first. And if you're at your campsite, black waste tank first, followed by the gray. Now, if you're going through a national park, same thing. National parks have a lot of dump stations. Do the black waste tank first, so it goes through the poop slinky, and then your gray waste, your shower water, is going to flush the slinky. Now, if you're permanently at a campsite for multiple days, you're going to leave your gray waste tank open, but leave your black one closed until it comes time to leave the campsite. Never have both open at the same time. So once again, if you're just dumping your tanks and then you're hitting the road, do the black first, followed by the gray. If you're at your campsite, you're going to leave your gray open until it comes time to leave. You're going to close the gray, open the black. I'm going to demo it for you. So let's say we're at the national park and we just want to your tank meter, say they're full. So now we're going to empty the tanks. This lever here, you see my poop slinky? It has these little hooks on it. Comes up through the bottom. You remove the cap. Hose comes up, attaches on. Actually make sure that they're all clamped on. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen next. So once you have a good secure connection, you can put your gloves on too during all of this. This black waste tank valve, it just pulls straight out. And you can hear it coming out. And then we're going to follow it to the actual port in the ground. And you see I actually have it down in the ground. And then it just takes a little bit of time to get out. But I always recommend have somebody here keeping an eye on this to make sure it stays in the ground. Because when those tanks are full, that's a whole bunch of gravity coming through. And you don't want that sucker coming out of the ground and spraying you with poo. Which never happens, but it can. One thing about dumping the tanks is that you can actually hear it. You can hear it coming through the hose. You can feel it as well. And then the panels inside are going to tell you if it's full or empty. Now the black tank, sometimes on that panel inside, it's going to say it's full. That means that one of the sensors is just covered up. And by sensors, These things are literally so small. It's the center of that arrow. It's a little tiny bead. So toilet paper can cover that up. Really anything can cover it. So if it says full, even though you just emptied, don't worry. Okay, so you're gonna see here that there's a labeling that says black waste tank flush inlet. Don't worry about that. Pretend it does not exist. You don't want to touch that. Let us touch that. Okay, so now my black is done emptying out. I can no longer feel it or hear it. I'm gonna close this in, and now I'm gonna flush out that slinky with the gray waste. You can hear it coming out. Remember, this is the procedure if you're at a national park or just a random dump station. Black tank first, followed by the gray. If you're at the campsite, keep the gray valve open, close the black one. Okay, so it's not coming out anymore, so I know it's done draining. I just push this valve back in. That's all there is to it. Super easy stuff. When you're done with the poop hose, you're gonna undo it. And when you undo it, you see these are closed. I highly recommend, of course, you're gonna have gloves on. I'm a little nasty, so I don't wear gloves doing it right now. You're gonna take it and you're going to unhook it slowly. And then you're gonna see how I do this. I angle it to where it's angled. So if there's any remains coming through the pipes, it catches it. Then you reach under, just like that. And keeping it up towards the sky, you're then what's gonna called walking it out. So walk it out. Then keep going. Just like this. It's all gonna go under. Now, when you're done with the poop hose, this is actually the poop hose that you're gonna get. You're gonna take the end, and it has a cap on it. You're gonna cap it off. Put that poop hose right back in there. Put the lid on it, and then this goes in this storage compartment here. Close it up, and you forget about it until the next time you gotta dump the pooper. All right, so the next thing is your freshwater tank. You have two different freshwater tank systems. You have your city water hookup and your fresh tank. The fresh tank on this unit is 70 gallons. That's equivalent to, I think, like 580 pounds. So please text us and let us know if you need a full tank before you leave. If not, you'll probably just have about a quarter of a tank of water. Okay, so you're gonna see here how I have this hooked up. It comes through the bottom, just like that sewer. I'll go back on the sewer real quick. This cap, when you're done, goes like that. And then this will just close it up just like that. Water hose comes up through the top here. This is always gonna be on there. Green hose screws in like that, goes to the water spigot. You'll notice on the water spigot, it's gonna have this orange piece here. This is your water pressure regulator. Make sure it's always there. That takes it from whatever PSI the campground is down to 50 PSI. And just open her up, let her rip. Now, it does have a built-in water filter, so there's not gonna be one on the water hose. You guys see here, it says freshwater tank valve, normal and tank fill. Right now I have it on what's called city water. So the city water is pressurizing the RV. If I wanted to run off that water tank, inside the coach, I'll show you a button. It's called water pump. That water pump is what you use when you're not hooked up at a campsite and you want water pressure. If you want to fill that 70-gallon water tank, you're just going to push it down to tank fill. Now, the panel inside the coach that I'll show you is going to show you how full that water tank is. If it gets too full, water is going to come out behind the rear tire. You can see where it kind of came out earlier. So if water starts coming out of the bottom of the RV, don't worry if it's during the time that you're filling up that water tank. It's an overflow, it's a safety feature. So I'm gonna switch that back to normal for now. So you can kind of hear it coming out now. Okay, so the next thing is your hot water heater. There's a control board inside the RV that tells you how to turn it on. If you turn it on and you're not getting hot water, come out here and you're gonna listen for it. It's gonna be like shh, makes a lot of noise. If you don't hear that, come out here, take your phalanges, and you're gonna push where it says push to reset. Take your 2 phalanges and you're just gonna push in a few times, and it's gonna start clicking, and it's gonna power up, and it's gonna be a boiler right there. You'll be able to see the flame. Pretty easy stuff. Hardly ever happens, but if it does, now you know how to troubleshoot it. Your water hose goes in this bin, which we like to just put inside. Here is your propane tank. When you pull in to get your propane tank filled, the individual who owns or runs the propane facility is gonna fill this tank up for you. You don't have to do it. They're gonna do everything here. When you get the RV, usually it's gonna have a full tank of propane. When you bring it back, it must have a full tank as well. Now, when the individual's done filling the propane tank, the only thing you have to do is make sure you come to this knob here, and just like your grill at your house, you gotta make sure it's open, because when they're done filling it, it's gonna be closed. So make sure you come back and you open it up so you can have hot water, your furnace will work. Yeah, just make sure it's open. Remember, that's on your driver's side. So same thing as a gas station. When you're coming in to fill up the propane, make sure you know how you're gonna get in and get out. This RV is equipped with turn signal cameras. So when you're turning, this will show you what's on the side of you. Same thing as the other side. It has marker lights, front of the RV, center, and one on the very rear. When you're driving, you can also see on the back of the coach, you can see the lip of your slide out, and that's gonna tell you where the back of the RV is at. So just know that when you're looking in the mirror, looking back, you're gonna see that little tiny lip. Okay, so when you show up, well, before you show up, my team, we make sure that the tires have been inspected, right? PSI, everything's good to go. Your engine compartment, you shouldn't have to go in there at all. We take care of all that for you. We make sure you have good windshield wipers, windshield wiper fluid, all that fun stuff. Okay, so now we'll jump inside the RV and go over all the other details. This thing's sweet. All right, so now we're inside the coach. You can see it looks just like it did when you probably visited the facility, looked at the website, all that kind of stuff. We're gonna go over quite a few things in here, and then it's gonna be wrapped up pretty quickly. Okay, so here, we're gonna start at the top and work our way down, and then I'm gonna revisit each thing. Bunk bed controller for the bed above the driver and passenger, driver's slide out, solar controller, which you should never touch, the main control board, thermostat, another part of the solar control system. Never have to touch that either. Okay, starting from the top here, you're gonna notice that you have a bunk bed system. This bunk bed, there's 2 steps to it. The first step is, well, actually there's 3, that you're not driving, and also, yeah, number 1 is you're not driving. So come over here, numbers 2, unlock it, just like that. You come back here, make sure that it's in the on position, press and hold this button, and then you'll see that the bed comes down manually. Not manually, automatically. Okay, there is a ladder that goes here. That ladder is in the back bedroom. It has its own little spot. It connects underneath the bed. Use both hands. Pull that off, and then bring this up. And that's gonna set right in there like that. To remove it, just like that. When you're not using the ladder, don't place it on top of the bunk. Don't place it behind the driver's seat. Don't place it anywhere but its designated spot. When we see damages, it's because people place the ladder in the wrong spot every single time. Okay, so next thing about this bunk, I hate to say it, But if you want to keep the security deposit and not have damages, do not allow anybody in your party to step on the back of the couch or on the couch itself. RVs are not built like houses. If you step on this multiple times, it's gonna crack, it's gonna fall apart, it's gonna break. Totally avoidable. Okay, for this to go all the way back up, we just go back here, push the button. Also, you want to remove any pillows that you have on top of the bunk before it goes up. It has to lay flat and flush, just like that during travel. Make sure you lock it. Good to go for travel. Okay, next thing on this control board, driver side slide out. For this to work, you always want to go outside first. Make sure, I like my good rule of thumb when I take my RV out, I like 2 arm lengths from the side of the RV to this whatever is over here. That lets me know if there's a tree in the way, a bench, a post, anything. Just never assume that there's nothing over there for the slide out. Always make sure that you've actually physically inspected it. For the slide out to work, the vehicle has to be running and the emergency brake has to be in. So if you don't have the vehicle running and the emergency brake in, you come to use this, nothing's gonna happen. Take the vehicle key, turn it on. Next thing you're gonna do, make sure that your chair is out of the way of the slide out. Good rule of thumb, just stand here and look at it. If it's not blocking the slide out, you're good. Now you're gonna come back here. Before you push this, do a verbal inspection. Make sure your floor has nothing in the way. There's no rocks, there's no food, nothing. I highly recommend taking the broom that we provide you and do a quick sweep of this side of the RV before you bring it in, because it's literally just pulling itself in over the floor. So now I'm gonna push and hold this. Now you're gonna notice the whole wall is coming in and out. Sorry, just coming in. Now it's gonna know when it needs to stop by itself. Okay, so I'm still holding the in button and it has stopped. It knows when to stop. This is how it's gonna be when you're traveling. Before you start traveling, you always wanna make sure that everything's off the countertop. You're not gonna leave a coffee maker out, dishes, pots, pans, none of that, because it is gonna fly everywhere. Just put everything away. Make sure all the cabinets are closed and locked, and make sure everybody's set to go for the trip. Cool thing about this coach is that you can still get to the bunk beds and you can get to the back bedroom and the bathroom during transit, which is one of my favorite things about this RV. It's usable even with the slides pushed in. Okay, so now we're gonna reverse the process. Like I said, I've gone outside, I physically inspected that I have like 2 arms lengths away from whatever is on the other side of the RV. I push and hold out, and it's just gonna start pushing out. Okay, so one of the steps that you're gonna wanna do as well, which should have been before I touched the slide out, but it's kind of in the front of the RV, but it's the leveling system. You're gonna wanna make sure the RV is level. This RV is equipped with an automatic leveling system. I'm gonna show you how to use that. Make sure you do that before you do the slide out. Okay, next thing on this panel. You're gonna jump down here, you're gonna see generator, start and stop. The generator, like I said, it's gonna give you the same 50 amp power as the campsite. The generator is gonna run your air conditioner system, it's gonna run your outlets, and it's gonna run really just like recharging your batteries fully, the microwave as well. So generator, all you're gonna do is press and hold stop, hold it for about 6 seconds, and you're priming it, and then you're gonna press and hold start. This generator runs off of gas. Okay, so now the generator is running. Now I said it runs off gas. It runs off the same gas as the RV's gas tank. Always make sure that your RV, if you're boondocking, your campsite has no electricity. Try to fill up before you get there. The vehicle safety feature is that it's not going to let it go before 1/3 of a tank of fuel, so you don't get stranded. Okay, you're going to know you have generator power or you have shore power by looking at your microwave. If we look at our microwave, it is not turned on yet. So that means we don't have power yet. Now we have power. It takes a few seconds. Okay, so now we have power, you know it's good to go. That's a great way to do it. Okay, so now coming down here, hot water heater. You see it's red, that means it's on. Now, I know it's hot simply because if I use it, you can't see it, but it's steaming right now. It's pretty warm. Before you pick up the RV, we're going to show you that it has hot water and that all the amenities work. When you're not using the hot water heater, like you have no use for it, just go and turn it off. It's going to save your propane. Okay, water pump. Right now we're hooked up to city water. So you're going to see I have water pressure. I don't need campsite. I don't need the water tank because I'm at a campsite. Now, if I'm running off of, let's say I'm in a Flying J truck stop gas station or anywhere else, and I need to take a shower, you're gonna hit water pump. You can actually hear the water pump as well, and then that water pump's gonna pump the water from the water pump and give you water supplies. When you're not needing the water pump, ensure it is turned off. You will burn out that water pump if you leave it on for way too long. Okay, here is gonna be our panels. These panels here, you see LFGC. Okay, empty 1/3, 2/3 full. LPG, liquid propane gas. I punch that, it's gonna tell me it's 2/3 full. Battery is the actual like RV portion battery, and that is full. Fresh water tank, that's at 70-gallon tank. If I press and hold that, it's full. Black tank, this one says black tank. Okay, so black tank is your sewer. Gray tank is your sink and your shower water. See, black is empty, I just emptied it. But remember, if you do empty your tanks and it reads 2/3, even though you know it's empty, just, you know, run some water through the toilet and you'll flush it out a little bit. Gray is your sink and shower water, empty. So way too easy of a panel to read. The next item is gonna be your furnace controller. You have two of these. One's here, one is in the bedroom. The one in the bedroom is gonna control the air conditioner. You have one air conditioner unit in the front here, and you have another one in the bedroom. That's what makes it a 50-amp camper, is having the power needed for 2 air conditioner units. Remember, shore power or generator power is to use that air conditioner. This one controls the furnace, the heater. The one in the bedroom controls those air conditioners. Once again, you don't worry about this panel here. Okay, so I'm gonna turn that generator back on so I can get some shore power, because I forgot to turn the breaker back on when I was showing you electricity outside. Okay, next thing is gonna be your refrigerator. This is probably one of my favorite refrigerators because it runs off that solar system and the battery power in the coach. You can set the temperature. I'd highly recommend the 4. Anything over 4, it's gonna freeze everything in here. You're gonna have like frozen beer slushies. The bottom part here, this is the controller for the fridge, and this is controller for the freezer for the temperatures. I always recommend having it in nighttime mode, because once it's cold, and that uses less power. Kind of show you the levels of space you have here. These shelvings on the sides, do not overstock them with anything, because it will break the little plastic tabs. Just basic items like things of beer, not like, I don't know, 9 things of biscuits. I assume that's heavier than beer. Now when you go to travel, you want to make sure that it's latched. By latched, you can hear it click, and to open it, you squeeze this, just like that. You shouldn't just be like yanking it open, because it's gonna break this here, just like that. Same thing for the bottom, it's gonna latch in there, squeeze it to open it. Don't let the door fly open, because it's gonna hit that doorknob. Okay, here you're gonna have your 110 outlet. It is also your GFI reset. So if you have power, because you know your microwave's on, but none of the outlets are working, you're gonna test that out, make sure that it's reset correctly. Now, if you we'll go over this little black piece here. This is your carbon monoxide detector, your propane alarm. If you put anything smelly underneath here or around here, it's gonna set this off. It's super like sensitive to smells. Also, if your battery gets too low, that's gonna go off. Okay, underneath here, you have more storage space. You have some pantry space as well. We're just gonna work our way around the coach now. Simple bathroom system. Always make sure this door is closed before you bring in that slide. It's not gonna be a good day if you try to bring it in with the door pushed open. Okay, so now you're gonna see the bathroom's pretty regular. You have light switches here. We do provide you with toilet paper, a lot of toilet paper. It has got to be 1-ply toilet paper because it will clog the toilets up if not. With the toilet system, there's a lever here that you step on, just like that. Now, good way to make sure the toilet does not clog, because if you use little water and a lot of toilet paper, it's going to clog it. It does not work like your home toilet. You're going to want to make sure you flush a lot of water when using the toilet. Don't just do your business and like that. I mean, use a lot of water. If you bring back the RV and the septic is clogged, there is a fine associated with that. I don't want to clean your poop up because you clogged the toilet, so please just use a lot of water. I hate cleaning poop. Okay, so you have your shower here. There is a rubber gasket here that needs to go around the door when you're traveling. If that's not done, the doors are going to shatter during movement. So always make sure that is latched in place. Okay, pretty nice. Opens up there. The shower head does have different features on it for like getting different water pressure, which is pretty sweet. And then you just enjoy your shower. One thing about the RV plumbing, if you're at your campsite and you have, city water and that gray valve is open, you can take as long of a shower as you want. You have a 6-gallon water tank, so you really have 6 gallons of like really nice hot water until it starts to start heating up again. If you're boondocking, very quick showers. You don't have that much water and you'll fill up that water tank pretty quickly. Here, more outlets, another light switch. You have a privacy door, which just pulls open, just like that. You see it's kind of sticky, so just kind of be patient with it. One thing you always want to make too, before you start driving, make sure the door doesn't look like this. Make sure it is fully, tucked in there. So during travel, yeah, there it goes. There's actually a latch. Yep, latch is right up, so it doesn't move during transit. So just like eyeball it, make sure that little rod is pushed up in there and it's locked in. Okay, now we're in the bedroom. You do have some cool lights here. It's just a little button. Just turn it off. You can also change the lights. Pretty sweet. They have little tabs on them. You just poke those each way, which is pretty cool. Then here, you can set different deals too if you want. You have USB chargers on that side, 110 plugs, same as on this side, which is pretty sweet. These lights will only work offshore power. I'm going to turn those things off. Okay, so you're going to notice that you have an emergency exit in the back room. Pretty sweet for your safety. You have one of these vents as well in your kitchen. To work that vent, you just turn it on. That's it. Here, the blinds, they're going to be the same throughout the RV. You just unroll a little bit, use both hands, pull it down until it sticks. And then to let it go back up, pull it down and guide it back up. Don't let it fly up, it'll break the rollers. Okay, here you have your 110, shore power only. Lift it up, there's a little bit of safety behind here. Now, we'll go over the bunk beds. There's 2 TVs. This USB plug-in here, well, HDMI plug-in, is how you're gonna run movies off those 2 bunk bed TVs. And you have 110 outlets here as well. Okay, so to close this, just push it on down. Perfect. tons of storage in here, wardrobe, all of that. There's a table in between the driver and passenger seat, a table and a tabletop post. We're gonna put those in this compartment. There's little safety, like actual areas. The post goes here, and that table will buckle in here against the wall. Sorry, where's it at? Yeah, right here. There's a buckle here on the side of the wall. That table post will set right up inside of there. Okay, another light switch here. This is your AC controller. To run the AC, you're gonna go through it. You have fan. Cool. For no reason at all, no matter where you're at, should it ever be, sorry, we're still in winter, so everything's still kind of not set. It should never be higher than 72 degrees for the air conditioner. Anything over 72 is going to freeze the air conditioners and it's going to break the system. Okay, so if I push this button here, this one, remember, only controls the air conditioner. The one in the front living room controls the furnace. If I pump this down again, it doesn't even let me do the furnace on this one. Okay, well the front one's gonna have the furnace controller, which is pretty cool. Another light switch. And then just like the bathroom, this one also has its own sliding door. And then before you drive, make sure you push it all the way in, and it actually sets in the little safety notch, so it doesn't fly and keep swaying back and forth the whole time driving. 2 bunk beds here. Underneath this bunk bed on the bottom, you do have a little bit of storage space. The RV, if you're local, as you read and we talked about probably on the phone, is that we don't provide linens for locals or people within Colorado. We only do linens for people flying in or people that are like, really just people that are flying in from out of state. Like if you're coming up from Texas and you're renting the RV, we'll give you linens at that point, which is great because your linens are probably way better than our linens. Okay, both of these have TVs on them. Pretty sweet if you're a kid. I mean, I would love to travel back here. That'd be pretty sweet. We don't have the curtains on here. You notice we have taken those off. The bottom one's off as well. So, but these are pretty self-explanatory. You can use a USB, an SD card, headphones. I know I love headphones for my stepson. Always make him bring those. You do have like a light system, power button, all of that. Coolest thing about it is, let's say there's a touch light here on the side. Let's say they just need a night light, you can have this on. Remember, this only runs off shore power and generator power if needed. That light, it's like right here. You just push that. Pretty cool. Okay, next thing, we're going to go over the kitchen, the 2 beds, the cab, and then we're done. Microwave only runs off shore power, generator power. It's also a convectional microwave. There's a whole bunch of our RV conventional microwave videos on YouTube if you need to know how to use it more. Very self-explanatory though. Has an actual convection microwave plate in here for you. And then we'll go over the stovetop. Notice the stovetop is just stovetop, it's not an oven. To get this to work, you have to take these and lift them up. Ceramic glass does not like to be hot. Okay, to get these to work, you're gonna see you have the igniter, and then each one of these symbolizes which burner. So just kind of turn it over to the light, and then kind of get it going, and then you're set. Same thing there, just like that. There's a cool light here as well that lights them all up. My biggest pointer, make sure you turn them off all the way. Like, you actually physically check that it's off for your safety. We don't want propane filling the cab. If it does though, that carbon monoxide alarm is going to detect the propane and it's going to let you know. When you can actually touch these without like it's pretty warm right now because I just lit it. Once you can actually touch it and it's not warm to the hand, you can put that ceramic glass back down. Always make sure that ceramic glass is put back down before you start driving. Okay, we do provide you with all the pots, pans, cooking utensils. We have spray bottles, dish soap underneath the kitchen sink. You'll get a sponge, coffee maker, roll paper towel, drying rack. Depending on when you rent with us, you're gonna get random items as well. We provide you coffee filters. We do have a, I would say like a small boutique in our front office that sells coffee, t-shirts, hats, bug spray, a whole bunch of random things. We also rent paddle boards too if you want to rent some of those for your trip. Yeah, see we have all the silverware. I make sure you have a wine opener, beer opener, it's important. And then just extra storage space. Glasses, plates, coffee cups, you know, all the basic things you need for cooking, which is really important. Okay, this kitchen table is going to fold all the way down. Before we mess this all up, you have 3 seat belts here, you have 2 seat belts here. The only way to put a child seat in these is going to be with the strap. There's not anchor points, so you have to use the strap method. This window here does have that privacy blind. Just gotta pull it straight down. These lights, there's a light switch here. Okay, so this goes down to a bed. To get that to go down to a bed, you're gonna take the cushions off, just like this. Just like that. Now underneath, you're gonna notice there's a little lever here. That's in the locked position there. So it's not gonna push down. That's the unlocked. To get it go down to the bed position, take both of your arms, grab the center, and you're gonna push down very gently. Just like that. And then we're gonna place some touchers. We're gonna put those seat belts underneath. Just like that. Pretty sweet. To kind of give you an idea of how big this bed is, I'm 5'9", 5'10", depending on when I get measured. If I'm here, you can see I still got a little bit of room, probably like 4 inches. So if you have 2 people here, it could be a little bit tight. But I mean, beats staying in a hotel, not at the national park. Okay, the couch goes down into a bed as well. You're gonna remove these 2, just like that. Then there's a lever here. You're gonna pull that lever out, and then you're just gonna kind of keep wiggling it until it lays down. Then these seat belts tuck down in there. To give you another idea, I'll lay down on this one. You know, this one's pretty small. You know, my head's hanging over the couch end here, so definitely where the kids go. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into the front of the cab. You're gonna notice this tabletop here. It's great. We're at your campsite. Both of these seats up front, they do swivel around. Same as the driver's seat, swivels around. This table here, when you're not using it, just removes like that. It goes in that back bedroom, and then you have all this space. When you're driving, there's a lever on the side that you're gonna pull, and it's just gonna pull you all the way around. There's a button here for a map light up above. Now if you're riding here, it's pretty sweet because you have your own little desk workspace. This actually folds over, and now you have a 12-volt inlet. You also have USB charging ports, and now you can work while going down the road. My wife loves riding in Class A's because she gets to work the whole time versus talking to me, so she likes it. Okay, so now we're on the driver's side of the coach. This radio, you're gonna see here that the vehicle's off. I'm gonna push that, it's gonna kill the radio. If I wanna listen to the radio at the campsite, simply push that. Now you have radios. This is the same radio that controls that outdoor speaker system. Okay, you do have a USB charging port here, and then you have a 12-volt inlet here. So make sure you bring the right, charging system that you need for your phone. All the way left is off for the air conditioner system. Snowflake is air conditioner as well. Pretty easy stuff. You're gonna notice the front of the RV has no privacy right now, but if we look over here to my left, you're gonna see it says nightshade up or nightshade. If I hit nightshade and hold it, this front privacy guard is gonna come down. When you're driving, it's only gonna let it come down to the eyebrow, and that's it. Once it touches the dash, let it go. The sides here, they also have their own privacy blinds. You're gonna pull those down, just like that. That's it. To let it go back up, hold it both arms, let it go up. Okay, so now we're gonna go over how to work the slide out system and what all these other buttons are for over here. You'll notice that this new 2022 Ford Class A chassis, super nice, super simple. Cruise control, I mean, it's really nice. Tire monitoring system, all that. So we're gonna turn it on. Emergency brake is down here for releasing it. When you're not driving the RV, when you're not actively driving the RV, always have that emergency brake on. This is a ginormous vehicle. But you got your flashers on the front here. You've got your steering wheel adjustment. Where's it at? Right here on the left-hand side, brings it up and down. If you're driving and you're in really strong winds, your steering wheel may be sideways like this. Don't let that concern you. It's just a giant wind sail. Okay, let's say that you go to turn on the vehicle and the vehicle will not turn over. It's dead. You can actually flip this button here when you're still at your campsite plugged in. Press and hold that for about 30 seconds and then turn on the vehicle's key, and it's going to jump start the RV off of the actual house part of the RV. Pretty cool. You have your light control system here. You just leave it on automatic, you'll be set. We went over the night shade up and down. See that? That's controlling that shade. Map light is the light over me. Mirror heat. That's if you just need to heat the mirrors. If you're like one of our lovely Colorado people that camp in December, you're going to use that. Mirror adjustment. Before you start traveling, just make sure that you and your traveling partner have adjusted all the mirrors and you're comfortable driving and there's no issues before you hit the road. Next thing is going to be the leveling system. Your leveling system is going to need you to be on relatively level ground. If you're at a campsite that is absolutely not level at all, request a different spot. Generally, campsites should be very level. Where we're at, we're not very level right now, so it's not going to let me complete the whole process, but it's going to let me teach you enough how to use it. Remember, leveling system has to be used before you push the slides out. Okay, so to make this work, step 1, vehicle has to be on. Step 2, press and hold on. Now you see how it says jacks up. That tells me my jacks are up. You're gonna see this button here, it says auto level. Press and hold that in until it does this. Auto level grounding jacks. Make sure everybody in the RV is absolutely still when this is happening. Auto level grounding left. You can actually hear it now. Now that that jack has gone down, it's letting us know that a jack's down. It's also flashing a button here. Well, not flashing, it's just on that says jacks are down. Super annoying the whole time it's happening. Once the whole system is done, it's gonna stop making these little flashing red lights on each side. It's gonna still bing because it doesn't want you to drive off with them down. It's kind of a lengthy process, so. With this auto leveling system, it's not going to let your front wheels come completely off the ground. That's why you want to make sure that your generally level of a campsite. If you're in this RV right now, you'd feel it jerking, moving. It's kind of level itself out. It really doesn't like that my left side is so unlevel because of the parking lot that I'm in. So just kind of waiting it out. Okay, so eventually, see how it's flashing green in the center? When it's flashing green in the center and nothing else is on, it's gonna tell you that it's level. It's gonna tell me shortly that it can't finish leveling. I'm already aware of that, so we're gonna kind of stop this process right here. But once it's blinking in the green and it's done, it's good to go. And then at that point, you can simply just turn it off and you're good to go. So this will turn off itself if you leave the lights on automatic. Okay, I believe I have covered everything on how to use the RV. Once again, like, don't let it overwhelm you. It's a whole bunch of it's a whole bunch of, you've never done it before. We totally get that. Good thing is, we're only a phone call or a text message away. If you're renting with us, I've probably been already texting you the whole time, but our phone number is on Google. Just go to highalpinerentals.com as well, and you can find us there too. During your trip, should you have any questions at all, no matter how stupid or little or inconveniencing they may seem, please text myself or Hannah, and we will work with you and we'll get you figured out. But please don't call us at 2 a.m. about a TV not working. Just emergencies only if it's after like normal working hours. But if it's important to you, it's important to us, and we will help you get through it. Before you drop off the RV, like we said, you have to have that propane tank full, but also the RV gasoline has to be full as well. And then you're gonna get a really simple cleaning checklist. I mean, it's like stupid simple. It's like sweep out the RV, wipe down the kitchen countertops, the bathroom countertops, the stove top, the microwave, fridge. If you made a mess, please just clean up after yourself. We're a very small family-owned operation, so how you bring the RVs back to us really helps us out. If you need anything else on your trip, like I said, reach out to us via text message. That's the best way to get a hold of us. Calling us on the phone over and over and over again isn't going to expedite it. Text us and we will get back to you the same day, if not within a few hours. Once again, I appreciate your renting with High Alpine Rentals. If you need anything before your trip, please reach out and I'll help you out. Thank you.